This video takes you through notes 5.3. So remember, slope measures the steepness of a line, and rate of change is the slope for real-world problems. So when we see the words rate of change and slope, they are very similar. One is just in context, where slope could be from just a graph or a table where they don't actually tell you what it's about. So problem 1 asks us to identify the slope, so we don't know what these things are representing, for a function that has a rate of 3 for the change in y and a rate of 2 for the change in x. So we've reminded you here that slope is change in y over change in x, so it would be 3 over 2, because 3 is the change in y, where 2 is the change in x. Problem 2 says that in order to join a movie rental service, there's a $60 startup fee and then a charge of $5 per month. They asked me to identify the rate of change, so this is more of a real-world problem. My rate of change is my slope, or my per month charge. So this is going to be 5, because 5 is my per month charge. So sometimes you won't have to actually really search for them or plug stuff in. You can just identify them from information you've been given. Remember that slope always goes with x, so $5 per month would be 5m plus the $60 startup fee. So whatever is directly with your letter is your slope or your rate of change. Problem 3, Danielle's class is raising money for a classmate. A local business already made a donation of $300, and the class is selling tickets to a bowl-a-thon to raise money. The graph below shows the total donations. So they ask us to write an equation that represents this data. So we can see that it starts at a y-intercept of 300. And then my slope, I'm going to go from point to point. So as I go up from 300 to 400, so I go up 100. And then as I go over, these look like they're going by tens. Yeah, this is a 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So these lines are skipping by 5s every time. So from 0 to 5 is 5. So my slope is going to be 100 over 5, which would simplify to 20. So my slope would be 20x. Now, when we're asked to write a function, we're going to write the exact same thing, but f of x. So what's the difference, they ask? The difference, let me choose a good color. The difference is what's in the front part. That's what's different. So the difference is the y versus the f of x. The slope is still the same. The equation looks the same. The y-intercept is the same. It's just the way we write the beginning part. Now, the slope, in context to this problem, is 20y, which is total money donations, so $20 donations, per x, which is tickets. So $20 donation per ticket, so 20y per x. Remember, slope is always y over x, or y per x. So, a reasonable domain, my x's start down here at 0, and push to the right, and they're just getting bigger and bigger, and we have this arrow meaning we don't know where they stop. My range, my y's, are also starting at 0 and moving up. We don't know where they stop, so y's could be anything greater than 0. Y-intercept has already been identified at 300, so 0, 300. Remember, y-intercept means the number goes with y and the other one is 0, and this crosses the y-axis up here at 300. What does f of 15 equals 600 mean for this situation? Well, that means x, or tickets, when your tickets equal 15, then your y, your money, equals 600. So when your tickets are $15, your donation is 600. And then one last problem here. They asked me which situation can be represented by this graph. When I look at this graph, I can make some estimations maybe, but one thing you could do if you wanted to would be to write down 2 points. Like this is the point 1, 90. And then we have the point 3, 120. And you could put that into y equals to find your slope and your y-intercept. It would tell you your slope is 15 and your y-intercept is 75. And that's what you could do in stat edit. Those steps are on notes 5.2 if you need a refresh of that. So you can take 2 points and figure out what your equation of the line would be, or some different parts. And then they're asking you this situation. So they're kind of asking you about the graph. So I'm looking for numbers like 15 and 75 because that deals with the situation of the line, where it starts at 75 or where it how much it increases. So A tells me the cost of buying X pairs of shoes that cost $90 would not be correct. So it would be no, because this is a specific situation or a specific point. So $90 would be one pair of shoes, but it's not X pair of shoes. It's just one pair. So that is a specific point, not the whole situation. B says the cost of buying X concert tickets that are $60 each. Remember, up here my slope is 15. So no, because it rises by 15 for the slope, not 60. So 60 doesn't have any relationship to my problem. And then C and D are both talking about, those both have the numbers I need, so I'm going to rewrite it so we can see it. 15x plus 75. So 15 needs to go with an unknown, and then 75 is like a one-time fee. So C says the amount saved after X deposits of 15 and an initial deposit of 75. That seems pretty good. Let me see about D. Amount paid on a $75 loan after X weekly payments of $15. Now, if you borrow money, your loan will hopefully be going down. So no, because the slope is positive, not negative. So if you have a loan, you're paying money on that loan, so the loan is getting smaller and smaller because you're trying to give that money back. So C would be my correct answer, because we would start at that initial deposit of 75 and increase the slope by 15 per X.